Kevin here from Mobility Bros. For the next several episodes, we'll be talking about some common injuries we see associated with running. And today's episode will be on the foot and ankle. Now, two big issues we see with runners in relation to the foot and ankle are issues with the plantar fascia at the bottom of the foot and issues with the Achilles tendon. Now, both of those issues are related to either poor mechanics as far as the foot's concerned with hitting the ground or coming off the floor, or just in general weakness with the foot. Now, with the foot and ankle, so if we're a competitive runner, we want to be really aware of the shoe choices that we're making every day. So I want to look more towards a minimal shoe throughout the day, more minimal shoe when I'm running, as opposed to a really high-heeled shoe like we see in the market today. And also, you may want to look at developing a better toe strike, which we'll just discuss kind of later in the episodes. Now, we're going to start today's episode with the bottom of the foot, the plantar fascia. And we're going to use a ball to massage the tissues of the bottom of the foot here with the plantar fascia to try to loosen those up, give some slack to them. Now, the reason why the plantar fascia is so important as far as the run's concerned is the plantar fascia helps hold our tendons in line towards our toes. So if the plantar fascia is really stiff, we're not getting really good toe action, which can offset the way our foot kind of hits the ground as far as pronating or supinating is concerned. So as far as the strength is concerned, the bottom of my foot, I want to make sure the plantar fascia is nice and loose. And the way we're going to do that is we use the yoga tune-up ball. Now, we like the yoga tune-up ball because it's a little squishy, it's a little softer. A lacrosse ball, or a golf ball, or baseball works, pretty good as well. The problem with them is they're really hard and they kind of beat your tissues up a little bit. So if I was a competitive runner and I'm running a lot, I want to make sure that my mobility work is a little gentler. So I'd rather kind of loosen my tissues rather than beat them up with like a lacrosse ball or a golf ball. So with the yoga tune-up ball, it's a lot squishier. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to work kind of a triangular pattern across the ball of the foot and then down to the heel, yoga tune-up ball. And I'm just kind of smearing the tissues across and around. So I'm putting a fair amount of pressure here. I'm going to go a few passes until you feel some ease as to which the tissues are sliding around towards the bottom of the foot. Now, once you've done that, a really good stretch for the plantar fascia at the bottom of the foot is just seated, crossing one leg over the top of the other one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers here, I'm going to grab around all my toes, and I'm just going to pull them back towards the shin. I'm going to hold this about a good 1 to 2 minutes. And if you like, you can even kind of feel the tension in the plantar fascia. So right here, you can feel a really kind of big knot, which I'll spend some time on later. Now after you've stretched the plantar fascia and you massage it with a ball, we'll look up towards the calf here. Now, because of the way all of your calf muscles kind of insert to the foot, if I'm tied up here, I'm going to have some issues around the plantar fascia and some issues around the Achilles. So again, if you're a competitive runner, you're on your feet a lot, the calves are normally high volume muscles, and I'll be using quite a bit more if I'm doing a large amount of running. So massaging the calves is going to be a big issue for us as well. And so we're going to use the MA roller to do that. And I'm just going to work my way down here. So I'm going to start high, right below the knee, work my way down towards the foot. Now, because we're looking at this more towards an athletic approach, we want to make sure that we're emphasizing a lot more movement than just kind of hanging out, certain corner, mashing around. So I really just want to get my foot moving as much as possible, working through some flexion, extension, the dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, work around. So I'm literally doing a lot more moving with the foot than I'm going to be actually on the roller. So if you find some spots that are kind of tender, hang out. Then we continue to break our way down toward the foot. And using a lot of motion here, a lot of motion. Okay, now you spend about a good 2 or 3 minutes here, making your way all the way down towards the foot. Now, once you're done with that, some pretty simple stretching that we're going to go over as far as the gastrocnemius is concerned and the soleus is basically off of a lunge here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have something to kind of hang on to. I've got my squat rack here. I'm going to have one of my feet right in front of the knee on the rear leg. I got my toes up on the back leg. And all I'm going to do from here is keep my feet in line. I'm just going to stand up and try to straighten out both legs. Now I'm looking for emphasis on the stretch on the rear leg here. Now this is going to help me, as far as my run mechanics are concerned, keep my foot in more of an appropriate position when I'm striding forward. So my femur's kind of more or less internally rotated here, and my heel is kind of kissing the floor. And so the object here is flexing the quad, pressing the heel back on the rear leg while keeping the forward leg straight as well. And kind of hang out here for a good 1 to 2 minutes. Then from a forward view, you can kind of see what's going on here. So I got my foot right in front of the knee. We're going to stand up, press the rear heel to the floor. Now as a runner, even though you're on your feet, you can sometimes assume that your feet are strong. If you're having issues with the bottom of the foot or issues with the Achilles tendon, there's a high possibility that you have a weak foot. And so the best way for us to deal with that is trying to make sure that we can accurately get on the balls of the feet and balance there. And so without grabbing on anything, so we'll just stand straight up down, and you're going to practice getting onto the balls of your feet, and we'll start hanging out here. So when I get my butt turned on, get my belly turned on, make sure my knees are straight as well. And we're just going to push on the balls of the feet and kind of hang out here. Make sure your toes are kind of grabbing the floor as best you can. I want you to spend about a good 1 to 2 minutes here if you can. Now, if you start losing your balance, just bring the heels back to the floor, recenter yourself, then come back onto the balls of the feet. So the goal is to spend a lot of time on the balls of the foot. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Tune in later in the week where Daniel will go over issues with the knee.